Hey, welcome. This is Artsy Wisdom. My name's Diane. Appreciate you coming by. Today, I plan on doing a few little royal tidbits. Harry and Meghan, Harry's visit to his dad's place. You know, just going back to the old homestead, seeing how that's going to go. I also looked into Kate's health because I had a vision. I'll share that with you. And I'm also going to look into their trip to Nigeria or Meghan's trip to Nigeria if they're going to lose their titles. So if you're not interested in royal stuff, I get it, but move forward. Timestamps are below. And then I am going to, I've been watching the Karen Reed trial, and I wanted to do a deep dive into that. I'm interested into how, did the police mishandle it? Are they covering up? Did she really hit him? She was so drunk. I don't know. So I'm finding it really interesting, and I wanted to just look into that a little bit. And also that ceasefire in Gaza, it sounds like Israel's not going to commit to it, but Hamas says they're ready. Israel's talking about bombing Rafah and telling people to leave. So fun times. And I think that is it. Next time I'm going to do predictions about May in general for 2024, or the summer, 2024, and answer some questions, some of them for the viewers that have sent me questions. Thank you very much for all of you who are stopping by, all my likes, subscribes, comments. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it more than you know, and slowly but surely growing my little channel. All right, let's get started. Thank you. So before we get started, I appreciate you very much. And if you guys didn't know already, I do personal readings. I have a link in my description box. And I do astrology, tarot. I also do past lives. I have a past life regression on my content page or my video page. So if you're interested in that, I think it's in the playlist. I have a meditation playlist. So if you're interested in listening to that, it's pretty general. If I did it personally, it would be more specific. But if you like what you hear here today, or hear here, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to pull some cards on Harry going back. I do feel like they are wary. He is wary. Harry is wary about going back. But it's weird because I still feel as if he doesn't realize the impact he's had. I think he vacillates between, well, they did this to me, or I had to live with this. I was the second. I didn't have all the good stuff that William had, and I was just, the spare. And it's almost like he just has that chip still, even though part of him wants to be back in the fold a little bit, because he's kind of shocked at how long it's taken for them to come around. And he's going to the Invictus Game event, which is on the 10-year anniversary, which we have to give him credit for. It's a wonderful event, and I hope it continues. But I'm going to pull some cards. I do think that King Charles is wants to see him. I think he's wary. Harry is wary, and Charles is wary. Camilla's going to protect Charles to the nth degree. Her husband is, he's still dealing with the cancer. So she's going to do what she needs to do, and she knows Harry's said mean things about her too. But Charles has got a soft spot for his son, so he's willing to kind of ignore, at least for the time being, some of it, or put it to the side. And let me see. I'm going to pull some cards. Oh, 5 of Pentacles, which means you feel like an outsider. So Harry's still feeling like he's an outsider, and he wants to feel at home, and he wants to have that feeling of security and safety and lushness and love that a person has when they've reached the pinnacle of their life. And they also, I feel like he wants to be around the landscape. I think he thinks it feels good for him. I don't know if that's true, but I also see him You see this person with their child. He's really feeling like an outsider, which, you know, he made his bed, right? So he's got to sleep in it now. And I see the Six of Swords right away. So let me see if this is just him leaving. Six of Swords is going away from troubled waters to calm waters. But I look at this card and I see him looking back over his shoulders, you know, like looking behind him. So he's almost, like I said, stuck between two worlds, vacillating. Like he's watching. I'm looking at my wife behind me and I'm going towards what I think I need to do and I want to do. Part of him wants to, but they better have him sign an NDA because I wouldn't trust him, only because he doesn't get it. He doesn't get the deep hurt he's caused. It's somehow he's like a disconnected between, it's like my feelings, these are my feelings. So you guys should just, you know, understand my feelings, not about how it hurt you. They need to accept and apologize, which, you know, I think Charles might give him an understanding of how his feelings may be real, but William won't. Catherine won't. Okay, so let's see how the meeting will go. I think this one. Four of Pentacles. Not great, according to this. I feel like everybody's going to be on tenterhooks. They're going to be very tentative on how they're just not going to be open because I think they'll meet for this event, or I heard he was invited with the kids to go to Windsor this summer, not Sandringham, somewhere this summer, so King Charles could see his grandchildren. I've heard that. But in this situation, we've got the Eight of Swords. You know, these feelings aren't necessarily real. These are just an imagined feeling confined. And Four of Pentacles is about saving money and holding on. And so I think this could be everybody being careful, miserly with your emotions, even though Pentacles are regards to like tangible resources, material things. And it could be related to his protection, but I guess they are giving him security, but they're not letting him stay at any of the houses. So he has to pay for a hotel. And ultimately, I think for all three of them, this is the Three of Swords. Maybe there's three: Charles, Harry, and William. Maybe it's going to be some grief and disappointment, which is sad. Yeah, that's the feeling I get. Is I see this Harry's lack of understanding because he's so somebody who's just in trauma land, and they haven't healed enough to understand another person's viewpoint because it's kind of like a narcissistic way of doing it. I'm not saying he's narcissist, but it's like, I am so hurt. Why aren't you looking at me? And he found somebody that he thinks will help, but he's got himself all in a quagmire with Meghan. So I don't think it's going to go great, but it is a first step. I do feel like it's necessary. And I think from the palace's point of view, they're very protective. King Charles is, actually, I think he's the most open, believe it or not, to having a relationship. And Harry just wants to, I think, because he's got to reach out to get back into the royal family, or try to, or make a relationship again that he can live with, they can live with. Just don't see him doing that right now, that they will allow. Magician, I just pulled this one, just was out by itself. He's trying to control it and he can't. That's too bad. Not so much about him because he's done this, but just I hate to, families. You want everybody to get along, but you can't. You can be angry with people you love. That's part of the ACA, Adult Children of Alcoholics. That's one of the power or Bill of Rights. You can be angry with people you love. It's okay, and you can still love them and be angry with them. All right. How would the Nigerian trip go? I think she's going because she's 43% Nigerian through her ancestry. How will they receive her? Okay, they're cautious. They're not sure. They're developing some sort of, actually it looks, oh, wait, hold on. 5 of Swords and then 6 of Wands. That's very interesting. I think they're using her to some degree for their image. They find that them coming, even if Harry and Meghan are on the edge of being royal, well, Meghan, they're using that to have some visibility, Nigeria, and show off. That's the thing, is I see them really wanting to show their country because they know the visibility they will bring. Meghan, even Meghan, people will want to know what's going on, even if it's just to ridicule her or whatever. I'm not saying I would, but there. Anyway, but yeah, I think she's very careful about how she can make this. They both want to use each other. Nigeria wants to use her. They're excited that she's coming, not in a using sense, but visibility. And they're both being very creative. And she's got some plans, I think, to show off some sort of products or something about her line or her lifestyle brand. I feel like there's a little bit of something. Either she's going to talk about something or phase or some of the impact of her lifestyle brand and how she's going to use some of it to help the people or the women, something like that. But it ultimately will be a success. There will be some sneakiness happening, and I think that's having her like some ulterior motives. And I almost feel like this is Harry once he comes, and the knight on his white horse comes. I feel like that's what they're really looking forward to. And the Emperor, 4 of Swords, Knight of Wands. Yeah. I think for her, she's got her motives. And then when he comes, it's going to change completely because I think he's meeting her there. So, and I know they had a lovely time when they were together in Africa. And that was part of their courting experience. But he's going to take control somehow, believe it or not. Good for him. Okay, yeah. So there's Nigeria. Okay, and will Harry and Meghan, well, I kind of already tiptoed around that. I don't see them losing their titles. Somebody had asked, will they lose their titles? Not yet. I don't see that. They may, I just don't see Harry allowing it. He'll do at some point, if it comes down to it, I think he would do what he has to do. It doesn't mean he'll leave Meghan. But I do think that he will make sure he keeps the titles because that's his money in the bank. Plus, it's his family. I don't think they are ready to lose their titles just yet. Okay, now. All right, and so I wanted to share with you what I saw with her. I was on a walk and I see desserts and food items in relationship to people or countries or other images. And for her, I saw this pink fondant, a sheet of it, and it was very weak and thin and not vertical. And when she came up with her cancer diagnosis and shared that, I saw this hole in the pink fondant and a tree was starting to grow and sprout. And then the next time I saw it growing over it, like she was, trees and nature are God's healing tools they're all available to us, and we have them all around us. And some of them have medicinal purposes in this situation. I feel like it's just signifies this overarching healing energy. Now, when I was walking, I saw the roots of the tree come up through the hole, and maybe I'll draw it out for you so you understand what I'm saying. They were kind of going around her, so the roots of the tree enveloping her. So to me, I took that as healing, like it's growing. And I also had this sense that she feels more energetic. She feels stronger. I do feel like she feels stronger. I do feel like there's, I don't know if it's a procedure there's something else that she may be doing that is helping her. And I don't know, maybe she's getting IVs of vitamins or something, or some sort of medicinal therapies. And I think it's helping her. Maybe because she was weaker than, how thin she was. And chemotherapy just wreaks havoc on you, and you don't want to eat or anything, although you end up gaining weight, which is like completely like counterintuitive to a great degree, because you're gnawing. There's a feeling of gnawing in your stomach, and I have no idea what kind of chemo she's getting. Depending on the type of cancer you have, they have a very targeted medicines in it. Mine was different, but and with women with breast cancer, they, believe it or not, you gain weight because you have the stomach cells get killed, and then you have this rawness or this gnawing. It's not a hunger, but you want to just eat to kind of fill that, or to make it feel better. And you end up gaining like 20 pounds, I guess, on average. But I lost it all. So that's what the nurses told me, and I did. So that was 12 years ago now. 12 years, yeah. All right, so good for her. I don't feel like she's going to be out anytime soon, but I do feel like she is gaining her strength. And it has to do with some other things they're giving her. I don't know, like I said, if it's food or medicine or some injections, IVs, vitamin C, stuff like that. That's the feeling I get, is they're giving her supplemental stuff to get her going. But she's healing. I can see the roots going around her, so that's good. And she'll be out eventually, but she was really weak. Then I'm going to look into the ceasefire. I see some geese on the water. The ice is almost coming off of the lake, which is nice. Israeli, I know they're going to bomb Rafah. They're saying everybody needs to leave, dropping leaflets. They say they're going to start bombing because that's where Hamas is. Ceasefire. Somebody wants it. Sneakiness, stealing, betrayal. Nope, it's not happening. I don't know if there's 9 groups that are affected, or 9 entities, or 9. Yeah, another 9. 9 of Wands. Got 9 of Swords, 9 of Wands, 7 of Swords. So this isn't going to happen. People are going to have to be strong and move out of there. Israel's not going to back down. I've already said this every time I see. They're not going to back down until they've annihilated all of the Hamas, or what they consider the terrorist groups. I'm not committing to any viewpoint on that. I'm just telling you that's what they're not doing. They will... Hanged Man. Nope, not happening. More time. Although ceasefire could be waiting. So maybe they aren't going to bomb just yet. You got some plans, the devil. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. No ceasefire. Sorry. Says it is. Some people want it, obviously. There are people coming to the table, but Israel's not going to do that right now. Okay. Karen Reed. This is a short little, it's kind of weird, royal things in a murder trial. They say a big group of people, this is in Canton, Massachusetts, in this group of people, she was dating this John O'Keefe. He was a police officer, and they all went out partying, and it went right into the small hours of the morning. And he was already, his sister-in-law and brother had died, and they had both died. And so he even took care of their 2 children. By all accounts, he was a good person. I mean, I don't know for sure. But they had a big party, and they were all drunk. And supposedly she hit him, and they found him in the yard the next day and in the dark, and it was a big snowstorm. And there was all these things the police should have done. It seems to me that they didn't, but they didn't realize it was a crime scene. They just thought this man was unresponsive when they arrived, and they find out he's a police officer. So, police officers protect their own, fire and police. So, she's got really good defense attorneys bringing up all these inaccuracies, or inconsistencies is the better word. I think, let me just sit for this for a second. Karen Reed. I don't think she remembers. I think she was so out of it, I don't think she remembers what happened. No, I feel like she's sloppy drunk. Like, swishing. I feel like I see a table or a bar or something, a wood, going like this. Karen Reed. John O'Keefe. I don't know if he was... Makes no sense. It's like he's not drugged, but he's... Like, I go into his energy and I can't see... Feels like he's tired, or he's asleep, or he passed out, or happened. It's just motion like somebody sawing something or poking. Trying to turn off my logic. So I did a little meditation because I couldn't get into her energy right away. But I did talk to John O'Keefe, the dead guy. I felt myself at a bar. It's kind of an old school bar, like one of those, a lot of wood, and I see he's looking at her, and I see him already sensing he's annoyed. He knows there's going to be a fight. He feels like he's kind of stuck. I wrote down my notes. He's mad at her, and he's going, there's a growing tension, and he knows it, and he feels like something's going to happen. And he says, we're celebrating. She can be too much, and I hate her, he says. They're doing shots. He says, I'm wasted, my guys. And he's expecting a fight. But he's torn because she's like a little crazy, but she's really good with the kids, his children that he's taking care of from his sister and brother-in-law. They both passed. Now, when I got into his energy outside, I saw on the left side something sharp, like a stick, and I know her taillight was on the back right that they say broke, and that she may have hit him or did hit him or whatever. But I feel like it's something on his left, or maybe it's coming at him. But then I went farther and I asked more guidance. He wants her to leave so he can be with his guys by himself. He didn't want her to be there anymore. And so they left. They get in the car. I see them in the front seat. She's driving, even though I think they're all too drunk to drive. And they're yelling really loud. She's yelling at him. He's yelling at her. Then somebody gets in the car. They calm them down. And she likes to play games, he says. She plays games. Then I see him at a pizza place with just the guys. They're eating pizza or somewhere, and there's a fight. Like, I see some, you know how guys, when they get in a tussle, when you like put your head down and just grab them and shoot them across the wall, just to kind of start fighting. But that's the feeling I get, is that he is there, and I don't know where this is. I don't know why I think of pizza, but I feel like he's eating pizza. And but then they get in this fight, and they're all there's a guys. It's just the guys. I don't see any women. If there are, they're on the edges or peripheral. And again, with the stick, I don't see the stick like somebody whacking him over the head with a stick. I feel like it's like punching or like something hitting him, like, I want to say, from a chair or almost like a defensive thing, but he comes at him and he gets hit with something in a defensive way and it knocks him out. But everybody's drunk. So I feel like there's a lot of competing things. I feel like she was a little bit crazy. I feel like they're all drunk. I feel like they fight all the time. He's annoyed with her. He wants her to leave, and she does. And then he stays with the guys. And then they find him the next day on the lawn, or that morning, a few hours later. I think somebody dumped him off there. I don't think she hit him with her car. If she did, it was an accident, but I don't see that. I feel like there's a cover-up or a elaborate thing with the fight, and I think it was an accident. I don't think anybody wanted to murder anybody, but I think it was just a fight, and he got so hurt, and then he had that head injury, and somebody dumped him. And I think it's somebody that knows somebody. I don't know if it was directly a cop that dumped him, but somebody took him there to the Albert's house. Or maybe he wandered outside. Maybe they wanted him to go in, but he was, that's why I felt like when I got into his energy, I don't feel anything, like I was passed out. Yeah, I was out. I wasn't dead, but I was out. And I think the hypothermia got him after that. So there you go. Very interesting. I don't know how I went there, but that was that. So we'll see. See how that goes. Anyway, yeah. I think that's where I'm going to end right now. Next time I'm going to do some May predictions or May and summer predictions. I'm still looking into the Trump trial. I still saw that this flash this week, maybe Thursday, in the courtroom. I don't know if it's a big blow up because somebody gets really angry or the judge throws a book at Trump. I don't know. I don't think he's going to be in jail. I do think it's going to feel restrictive for him. And I don't know what that is, but he's going to be making some mistake and he's going to get in trouble. Anyway, yeah. All right. Till next time. Thanks for coming by.